Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. My name is Timothy Okwebelem. I'm a clinical research associate. Today, I'm going to be taking you to something away from clinical drug development. I'm going to be taking you on a topic I titled Lessons You Ignore That Can Save Life. Oftentimes we have heard household accidents. People die. Sometimes ambulance is being called in. But people are not learning lessons that are supposed to teach them to prevent these common household accidents. In this lesson, I'm going to be teaching you on things which you're supposed to know, which probably you have failed to know, or maybe because you were a bit careless. But it's very important for us to pay a very close attention to this topic because it's a general topic. It deals with current and electricity, deals with gaseous substances, and all kinds of things. But let us first of all start by looking at lessons you ignore that can save life. Yes, if you follow this lesson squarely, it can save life. Don't wear metal objects during thunderstorms. You have heard lightning most times struck people down. In African people perspective, when somebody is being struck down by thunder, that person has committed something, maybe a taboo, or maybe their parents or their forefathers have committed something evil, and that's why the person is being struck down by lightning. But there are some things we do, or some things we wear during lightning that can make these electrical ions from the heavenly to electrocute. People don't just die by thunder like that, or the sound of a thunder. When you hear that somebody died of thunder, that person was electrocuted by the lightning. And lightning carries a lot of electrical currents. And we heard about current and electricity, we heard about light. Light started from God. It started from God originally because the lightning you see has a lot of electrical currents. And I could remember when I was a kid in my village, we used a lister generator. One day the generator was not on in the night, and there was a heavy lightning. I could remember maybe around when I was about 10 years or 8 years old. There was the heavy lightning, and could you believe that the lightning generated the electricity in our life? The light just came on, just like that, and nobody on the lister generator or plant. That will tell you the amount of lightning, electrical things that come from lightning. Okay, so when you say don't wear metal objects during thunderstorm, yes, we know that metal is a good conductor of electricity. A good conductor. So when you are wearing something like a wristwatch or bracelet that is metal, or a necklace that is metal during lightning, you are exposing yourself to thunder or lightning. If the lightning becomes heavy, when the lightning struck, and it can become so heavy, the electrical discharge becomes so heavy that the electrons become so much, the electrons and protons become so much, it can pass that current because metal is a good conductor of electricity, and the person can get electrocuted because once, like I said, water is a good conductor, it's a good conductor of electricity. The same with metal. So anything, for instance, if you are carrying, maybe you're inside a swimming pool or something, the lightning struck, heavy lightning, the person can get electrocuted. The same thing as somebody wearing a wristwatch can get electrocuted. So don't wear wristwatches during thunderstorms. Don't say it was because the sins of your forefathers and your grandparents that made a person to be struck by thunder. Let us take that belief from us. So you've heard, don't wear metals during thunderstorms. Avoid wet, slippery floors. Oftentimes, in our houses, people, maybe since children will spill water on the floor, and parents will not, you know, wipe it away. Somebody can fall from the slippery. Somebody might wake up in the morning, early in the morning, in the middle of the night, and he doesn't know there's spilled water on the floor. A person can eventually. So a lot of people have died through that way just by a fall, and they break their head, have head injuries. Some develop epilepsy through head injuries and all that. So what we're supposed to do, make sure, especially when we have kids, that we wipe away slippery water, spilled water on the floor, or spilled oil, or anything that can make children to fall. You know, children are still growing. Children are still growing, and it's very bad for a child who is healthy to all of a sudden start developing epilepsy through head injury. You know, we can always avoid that in our various homes. The next one is avoid, keep drugs out of reach of children. I've made a video on this. Keep drugs out of reach of children. You see, children are children. They are growing up. Oftentimes, if when you keep a drug which you're supposed to, because for instance, when you buy a drug or when the doctor prescribes a drug, you see where it is written on the leaflet. Keep drugs away from children because children can crawl, and take the drug and swallow it and get overdose and die. Some children, you have to put it in such a way, a hidden place where a child cannot reach it. A child can put a table or a chair and climb on it and stretch their hands and collect the drug, and so they might know where you hide it, where their hands cannot reach, so that children don't take and ingest drugs and die of drug overdose. If you don't want to get involved in calling ambulances and rushing to the hospital, sometimes they ingest loads of drugs that can kill them instantly or put them under unconsciousness, or sometimes that will lead them to start calling ambulance to come and take them to the hospital. So we can always avoid this in our various homes. The next is keep children off from electrical appliances, electric iron, kettles, and boilers. So when we talk about electrical appliances, include electronics, include the electrical gas, cooking gas, and boilers. And in Africa, they have a kind of a boiler that is not a kettle, and that one needs to stick inside a bucket and filled with water. And it's dangerous now when you keep it where children are. They can just put their hands and they get electrocuted. Also, you don't let children put their hands in where there are sockets and open sockets and wire, which they can, easily get electrocuted. So we parents will have to be careful over when it comes to electrical appliances, including kettles. You have to be able to make sure we watch our children and know what they are doing, and you have to be conscious to watch a child when you are looking over a child. Make sure the child does not go and touch the television or all these things, and they can get electrocuted, or go to the fridge and begin to touch. I had a relative of mine that the child died in London. The child died in a home care, because the person could not control the child, went to the fridge and got electrocuted. So, and that's that. Now keep children away from sharp objects. Very, very important. Don't keep sharp objects anyhow you see it, because a child does not know anything. Can take a knife or a nail or something sharp and even cut off their neck, or and that can lead to death, or stab somebody. They can even stab you without knowing the implication. They are children. Children are children. They don't know what they are doing. So sometimes they don't use it to blind themselves. When you see them with pen or sticks or any sharp object like knives and all that, Please take them away from children. Hide it. Don't let them go to the kitchen anyhow where the knives are. And always look after the children. It's very, very, very important. Now, keep polythene waterproof off the reach of children. Polythene. Polythene bags from polythene. If you're a chemistry student, when I talk about polythene, you know what I mean by polythene. We'll get polythene bags, and all this when you go to the shop or mall to buy something, they normally after you have bought it, they put in package for you in a polythene bag. That's for rubber. A rubber bag is polythene and waterproof bags. We know that children are not supposed, you're not supposed to keep these waterproofs and all this in where children they can suffocate themselves and put it in their mouth and use it to suffocate themselves. So we even in polythene bags, you see where they write keep it off from children. And polythene does not digest in the stomach. So when a child takes it, it's poison. Okay? Keep it away from children, please. Keep children away from gas cookers and stove. Gas, you often hear about gas explosion. Even in civilized countries like England, in America, Germany, in some uncivilized countries like African countries like Nigeria, we have heard about gas explosions. The parents left their child, maybe left, and the child was at home with somebody that is not taking care of them, very well, not attentive, gluing their eyes on television. And child crawled to the kitchen and turned on the gas cooker, and the gas, that's what we call diffusion. And when the gas is diffusing, it's smell everywhere. So someone comes in and strike a match without knowing, and the whole house gets ignited with fire. So sometimes you turn on the gas and leave it and forget to turn it off. A child can do that, and or even an adult, forget to turn it off and sleep. And in the night, as the gas is diffusing, looking into a space, and people die of gaseous poisoning. So we should be very, very careful in our cooking gases, because I talked about electrical appliances, which include electrical kettles, but I talked about this one is about gas cookers and stove. And that takes us to this one. Keep children away from corridors. Yeah. Keep children away from corridors. Some people are living in 10-story buildings, 15-story buildings, 20-story buildings, 30-story buildings. Some are living in just 1-story building. Don't let children crawl in the corridors, because they can fall off from where they are. So please keep it away from children. Keep them away from corridors. And the next one is keep them away from open swimming pool. Don't put children in an open swimming pool and where they can swim. Children can easily walk and enter into the swimming pool where adults swim, and they get drawn in the waters. Please keep them away from make sure if you have a swimming pool, you have a protector that can protect it, so our children does not go there. And that comes to the end of our course or lessons you ignore that can save life. If you're interested in this video, and I know you are, please subscribe to my channel, Timothy Okwebelem. And when you go to your screen, click on the bell when you have finished subscribing. Thank you very much for having the time to listen to this lesson. Bye.